often this way my brain starts to work in a different way, because otherwise if you look from White's perspective, then you think like, if I do this, then I don't like this, and d4 played by Magnus, the computer kind of agrees with the move. It was also the move that you mentioned that it looks quite natural to you.
Yes, it does. It does look decent, this move. I quite like it.
Well, the point is that actually Black doesn't really have a choice. Playing the move d5 looks almost obligatory, because you just can't let White occupy the center with this construction, with the bishops on g1 and b1. And but if you play the move d5, and if you get the knight out to f6, then once again this bishop on g8 is kind of stuck. I have the feeling that Vincent is very unhappy actually that he has to deal with this starting position in one of the most critical and most important games in his career. Could we say that to Vincent? Because a ticket to Las Vegas, and knowing that he's on the second position, the overall standing, plus if he would finish here the tournament well, he would gain tremendous amount of new Grand Slam points as well.
No, I think it might be his most important game of his career. I think there's a legitimate, with all the implications of, as you said, Vegas and the tour. Yes, it's not classical chess, but he hasn't had his classical chess moment yet. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Vincent in things like the World Cup, in maybe some Grand Prix, if that ends up happening again, or some big, we have the super tournaments, of course, but being part of some big event. I mean, for me, it's really, the World Cup. I'd like to see Vincent make a run at the World Cup.
Last time he was very close of knocking Magnus Carlsen. Remember, he won the first game. Yes, it was quite lucky because Magnus was in control, like with Black he equalized without any problems. But then little bit was maybe trying to play for a win, maybe he got careless. In any case, Magnus made a mistake.
There's no need to do anything else. Just f6 is clean enough.
Yeah, everything is protected, so yeah, Magnus can just go forward.
And Vincent could have 34 seconds, 34 minutes, 34 hours, or 34 years on his clock, and the result would still be the same. Unfortunately, sometimes things are not salvageable. Vincent's position is Kaputski.
Yeah, down to 15 seconds. It's over.
Yeah.
Well, it also just shows what an incredible result Vincent had in Weissenhaus by beating Alireza Magnus and Fabiano Caruana in one tournament. Yeah, that's. But yeah, Magnus wanted his revenge, and he's taking it here in Karlsruhe at the Grenke Chess Festival. Bishop f2 check, king h3. The king is hiding, the g pawn is queening.
He's going to give the check and go back to d2.
Yeah, but there is. We know that there is no.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he goes bishop c5.
Okay, any last tricks? Any last tricks? This is where you ask yourself, any last tricks? F takes g7.
Queen h6 check.
Queen h4.
Yeah, then I take on g6.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I don't need to do.
yeah, you don't need this. Yeah.
Maybe just f7.
Yeah, but f7 does not threaten f8 queen. So at least Vincent is
Oh,
trying
no.
to cause some.
I know the move. It's f4.
Yeah, f4 is. But no, he just takes fg7.
Probably also wins, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's just that after queen h6 there is no need to design yet. But of course it looks hopeless.
Ah, you can play king g3 here.
Yeah, you can.
You can play king g3. There's
But
no-
then queen takes h1.
Then queens?
Well, I don't know. No, king g2 and again the same motive. King g3 and
now
check
king
and then king the
It's-
same.
Yeah, you do the
Exactly
same
the same.
thing, and
Yes.
now king g3. Yeah.
Very frustrating, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, that you keep on checking, but white can simply hide with the same method.
Yeah, and at the end the bishop's going to be hanging.
And there we see a draw agreed.
Yes.
That was expected. But for the tournament from the German players,
Unbelievable.
just unbelievable.
And you're right, we will have a look at Payam's game afterwards, but it looks as though he's blown the lead. Blown the advantage, king g3. It might be now really might be time, because there's nothing else. Yeah, that's it. They both know it's it, and they really know it's it. That was the last big deep breath that Vincent needs to take.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there is the congratulation and the historical performance by Magnus Carlsen. 9 out of 9.
9 out of 9. Fischer did it. Various others have done it. But isn't it fitting that he did it in Fischer Random?
Amazing.
9 out of 9 when
Yes.
Fischer did it in the US Championships in
Yeah, in